This video is brought to you by
Cool Green Clothing. You already know what it is. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and I assure you, you'll find something on the website right now just for you. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. It's a lot of twists and turns in this one, so y'all keep up with me. It's a shocking end, so y'all stay tuned. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. The one thing we all need in life to survive is money. Despite some people feeling like for the love of money is the root of all evil, if you have ever been in a position where you were flat broke and didn't know where your next dollar was coming from, then you know that little green piece of paper makes things just a little more tolerable out here. People have different ways of making income. Some take the smart traditional route. They go to work, get a guaranteed paycheck, benefits, and they know no matter what, after they put their years in, they will receive some kind of benefits when they retire. Others are a little more adventurous. They might choose to be an entrepreneur, find a way to work for themselves in hopes to hit the jackpot and can maintain without being in corporate America. Then you have the underworld or the streets. In every state in America, no matter how upscale or affluent your area is, it's somebody out there getting some illegal money. It could come from scamming, robbing, trapping, which is the most common. Seeing a need for something, whether a city doesn't have a lot of grass or nothing to smoke on, you come in, supply and demand, and end up getting some money. The goal is to build an empire and hopefully get rich. But the streets and hustling is tricky though, and for some, that risk isn't worth the reward. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a man who tried to be the plug out of town and ended up with 60 years. If you have ever been to the DMV, then you know it's a big difference in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We talk a little different from each other and carry ourselves in different ways. Matter of fact, if you ask most people from Baltimore if they are from the DMV or even Maryland, they will say, no, I'm from Baltimore. We don't claim that because how different the culture is. It's many places in Maryland known for getting money though, but Baltimore always had that title of the city where the streets had a reputation like no other. When you pulled up on a block in the city, especially back in the day, it was nothing. They had people calling out what they had or what they was trying to sell, like businessmen, screaming out red tops, blue tops, and if you were familiar with the product in the area, you copped what you needed and went on about your day. It was a one-stop shop where some people built empires, just like a corporation. You had a boss, runners, or hitters that deliver the product, the second in command, I guess you can say the supervisor who made sure the operation runs smooth, even security or enforcers if things go left. Some organizations were so well oiled, every week you would even get paid for your position, like a paycheck at a job. And it soon clicked to most dudes in Baltimore, we had a lot of product in our streets and access to things that other cities and the surrounding areas didn't have. So like any businessman, a lot of guys decided to buy product for cheap in the city, take it to other areas and sell it for more, doubling their money and also filling in a gap for the demand and supplying it. And back in 2019, that was the case for 31-year-old Corey Sessoms. Cory was a Baltimore native and knew people from networking in the streets. He had access to almost everything. He would often cop product, make a few sales, make a few $1,000s and re-up. He did that for a little minute until he realized, talking to associates, there was a lot of money to be made in other towns in Maryland. The conversation came up about Anne Arundel County. Not too far from Baltimore, Anne Arundel had their own things going on in the streets. But Cory thought to himself, yeah, they might have a product out there, but Cory heard it was often a drought in a certain town, Pasadena, Maryland, and Anne Arundel. Cory decided he would take some product he had left and shoot out there, just to check it out. After being out there for a few days, staying in motels, he met a 21-year-old man named Montreal Musa. Montreal was from Pasadena, and Cory let him know, like, yo, if you let me know what's going on out here and where the cells at, I could put some money in your pockets. Montreal agreed, and just like that, Cory was in. He quickly turned into one of the go-to guys in the area for good product, and he didn't just have one thing, but whatever they needed. But the streets were talking about the dude from Baltimore who was now out there trapping. What Cory didn't know though, Anne Arundel had recently had a problem with ODs in the area, with some people even losing their lives, and they were cracking down. After a few months, Cory's name came across local police desks from CIs or confidential informants in the area, but they had no reason to talk to him. He wasn't a hot boy. He tried to keep a real low profile and stay under the radar out there. But Montreal had recently caught a DV charge for putting hands on his girl and had a warrant out for his arrest. Not knowing his little mans was on the run, Cory went on with business as usual. He had even went back to Baltimore to re-up and came back. But on a spring morning in May of that year, police got information Montreal was with Cory, and the two was parked outside of his home in the 7900 block of Liberty Circle in Pasadena. They just had caught a few plays when police ran up. Cory was in the driver's seat and Montreal riding shotgun. Police told the young man he had a warrant out for his arrest. As Cory looked up, put his head down while shaking it, he was still in the clear though. Police told him to step out as they put Montreal in handcuffs. Now they had probable cause to search the car. At first, they found nothing. As Cory sat anxiously waiting, they called the K9 unit. As the Duds circled the car, they made a hit. It seemed to be in a certain area in the vehicle. To police surprise, a secret compartment. They pried it open. In there was everything. 100 vials of smack, 91 grams of ratty or girl, 100 vials of fent or fatty, baggies, a scale, pills, and almost $1,000 in cash. It seemed Cory's little man's mistake hit him harder. His car and his money was both seized, and he was taken into custody, charged with drug charges with intent to distribute. Montreal eventually walked away from his DV charge. Cory was now fighting for his life though, but in a strict county like Anne Arundel that was cracking down on narcotics in the area, and he was from Baltimore, caught red-handed, he was cooked. He was eventually found guilty on all charges, sentenced to the max of 40 years for the fent, a consecutive 20 years for the girl, and 10 years for the pills to run concurrent. In total, 60 years in prison. Crazy enough, not even a year later, Montreal was arrested again. This time, he was the driver in the car with a few other young men. They had drugs and money. It's not clear how that case played out, but years later, in 2025, he shot into a home in Anne Arundel County over 20 times. A 6-year-old was at the house at the time and almost got hit, and 5 adults. Fortunately, no residents was hit, but they told police Montreal was the alleged shooter. He was tracked down, and he went on a high-speed chase, crashed the car, which was stolen, and was caught with a Glock 19. He was charged with 6 counts of attempted hit and weapon violations. And just this year, he was sentenced to 75 years, all suspended, but 25. Fortunately, in this story, nobody lost their life. Well, Cory and Montreal definitely did to the system. I know Cory is wishing right now he never went to Pasadena and probably never met Montreal. Shorty was hot, and part of the reason he got jammed up. Montreal had a lot of chances to get it right after seeing his big homie get a 60 ball, but he still chose the streets. Now he himself got 25 slices. But I want to know y'all thoughts on this whole situation. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, it's a super crazy story. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all definitely let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.